kingdom of Israel! Blessed are the poor in spirit. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain. Are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Lay not upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
The book of Psalms, chapter 16 and verse 11. It says, Thou will show me the path of life. The path of life leads to paradise. The path of life leads to glory, which the glory is the kingdom of heaven. And we're on that path of life. We're walking on the path of the tree of life to gain eternal life.
Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye in doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
To eternal peace and joy.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations. Hopefully, they got there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Push me to the body of Shalom to the whole collect the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shah. All right, what I want to get into with this lesson, it's only one way to prepare for what's coming. Okay, and the only way to prepare is to be of the elect. You see, that's number one. All right, so what the world is going to get ready to experience is a judgment from a higher power. And the only people that's going to be protected from that judgment is an elect that was predestined from the foundation of the world. Okay? Outside of it, there is no way to prepare what's coming. other than being part of the elect of Israel. Okay, first you will have to be an Israelite to qualify. Okay, and then you have to be of the elect of Israel to qualify for salvation, for mercy in these last days. Okay, because what's trending now is a lot of people, since you have these things going on, the energy crisis, the potential, health lockdown, another pandemic, and you have people now, talking about prepping, and everyone is prepping expert, which there's nothing wrong, which we always say. If you get a few extra items, you buy things in bulk, okay, but that's not going to be, all right, salvation. That's not going to get us through what's coming, because what's coming is greater than, okay, and a crisis of just not having food for a few days. Okay, this ain't just some random event that's happening. Okay, and as long as you got stockpile of food, okay, or extra food, you see, you can ride this thing out. No, this ain't something that can be ridden out. No, this is a response, okay, to the rebellion and the pride that's in the world. Okay, matter of fact, let's start getting a few precepts. Okay, because what we're seeing is a judgment from on high. Okay, this ain't just random events. This ain't just something, all right, that you're gonna be able to ride out, with a few extra packs of noodles, okay, and rice. Okay, what's coming gonna be way worse than what people can imagine. So let's go here, because this is judgment from the Lord. When you go to the book of let's get this in Second Esdras. Let's go here to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 8. We always get it. Just roll in the spirit with these precepts. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 8, verse 50. It says, "For many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." Okay? So we're coming to a time in which the Lord is going to bring these miseries, man. See, this is beyond the elites. You got a few people that's privy to, the elites and certain propagandas and certain agenda and certain propaganda. Okay, and they think that they own something. Well, no. If you don't know the Lord, you're out of there. You see, if you're not of the elect, which the elect will come back to their power in these last days, the hopeful elect will return back to our power and trust in Him. And it's going to be through Him. We're going to get through all these situations that's going to come to the earth, man. We're going to get through this time of tribulation because we know our power. It was predestined for us to awaken and cleave to our power again through His Son, Yahushua. Okay? So outside of that, there's no way to prepare for what's to come. The Lord going to bring misery to the earth. This is of a high power. You see? And the Lord got everybody figured out. Matter of fact, let's go here. You see? And that's the thing, because when you read this again, it said, "For many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time that dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." See, the Lord's finna address the pride in the earth, man. Okay? The Lord is finna address all this pride, okay, that has become the norm in the earth, man. Everybody's proud. Everybody got it figured out. Everybody's smart. Everybody tough. People invincible. The way people talk and move, you would think they was invincible, man. Like they was immortal. You see? So the Lord finna show how vulnerable the earth is, man. Okay? That's what the Heavenly Father finna do. And Esau gonna be a tool on the left-hand side. He's gonna use Esau to bring a lot of havoc to the earth. Okay? But there's a judgment that's gonna be happening that's above Esau. Okay? Because Esau gonna get the hand pick who gets nuked. Okay? Who gonna get caught up in that nuclear fire. But the Lord does. Okay? Let's get a precept to prove that. Let's get the book of Sirach 16. All right, I believe it's verse 11. Sirach 16:11 says, "And if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is a marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure." Okay, so if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is a marvel if he escape unpunished, man. Okay, one. You see? So the Heavenly Father got every single individual mapped out for their judgment, man. and there's a remnant of Israel that's going to have mercy and that's going to be delivered. See, now we finna see what this term salvation really means. Everyone Christians throw this word saved and salvation around. Now we finna see what salvation really means when we come into these times, man. You know, because there's going to be a remnant that's going to be delivered from their ultimate destruction, which is the nukes, man. All right, so if the Lord got everybody pinpoint, all ages, all men, women, okay, all races, all nationalities, all religions, whatever you can think of, the Lord got everything mapped out, man, and how He wants to judge in the earth, man. Okay, so just thinking that you're gonna you're gonna prep your way out of this. Okay, you're gonna become this super prepper. Okay, in these next few months or however. Okay, and you're gonna ride this thing out. You have no clue what's coming, and that's part of the reason why. The fact that you think you can prep shows that you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the power of the Lord. You're not reverencing the higher power. The fact that you think that you can prep your way through this situation, you'll miss the whole point. Okay, speaking to you tribes, man, because you're done. I got a video I want to get into where you got these certain tribes, Jake, the nigger woman, okay, in the forefront of every goddamn thing, with his opinion, with, some type of rant, okay. But nah, man, only mercy come from the Lord. Mercy and wrath are with Him, okay. As it says, for mercy and wrath are with Him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure, man. And there's a remnant, okay, that's forgiven, that's gonna be part, okay. And the Lord finna show mercy, and the Lord finna do miracles, man. See, our people have been trained to depend on the enemy, man. Okay, they've been trained to depend on this system, and they don't see nothing outside this system, man. Okay, so let's go here. Because anything outside of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is vanity. Okay? Anything outside of the Lord is vanity, man. When you go to Psalms 127 and 1, it says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai keep the city, the watchmen wake it, but in vain. You see, it's pointless, man. Unless the Lord is with it, it's pointless, man. Even Esau, this man has trillions and quadrillions of dollars. Okay? Military, nukes, and guess what? The Lord finna break his ass up, man. Okay? He finna get that work. The Lord finna bust him up. Okay? So you think, all right, your 2 cases of noodles, okay? Your 2 bags of rice, okay, and the camper oven, okay, and you gonna ride this thing out? Nah, man. Okay, this judgment's coming from up top, man. It's way beyond, you see, some random event, okay, or the shadow government. It's way beyond that. Okay, so unless the Lord, all right, we're protected by Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, unless the Lord has mercy on us, man, there's nothing that can be done. Just got to deal. See, people finna have to deal with judgment. You see, you people see this. Esau then push, so much rebellion and entitlement in the earth, and he separated actions from consequences that people don't understand. Like, nah, it's a higher power that's getting ready to judge the earth, man. Okay, people think that they can live how they want, do what they want, then go buy a few extra groceries and ride out the judgment, man. Nah, man. Okay. The next scene gonna be way different than what a lot of people expect, man. Okay. The next scene of the movie, okay, is gonna be way different than what a lot of people expect. Psalms 127 and 2. It says, it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows. You're worrying. Okay, to rise up early, trying to have this prepared and trying to do this and trying to have this, trying to build that. If that happened, if this happened, we're gonna build this. And we got this satellite phone, we got this, we got that. Okay, well, so it's okay to have things in place. Okay, but if that's your end all be all, to the times we're coming in, it's going to fail. Okay, there's nothing wrong with knowing how to do things, and you know how to fish, you know how to hunt, you know how to can. I know a few sisters know how to can particular things. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Okay, but if that's your end all be all for these times we're coming into, man, hey, it's gonna be extremely disappointing. If you set your faith in those things, okay, it's gonna be a great disappointment, man. It says for so he giving his beloved sleep. Yo, we can sleep at night understanding these times coming, but understanding we got a power, okay, that's gonna be activated, man. You see, we got a power that's getting ready to be activated in these times, man. Okay, so we know what's seeing. We know what's coming. See, you just a lot of people that's prepping. They just they get their news from TikTok and they get a little news here and there, but they really don't understand what's coming. You see, we understand that this is the worst time ever that we coming into, and we can sleep on that because we know we got a power, man. Okay, let's read this in the NLT, Psalms 127:2. It says, "It is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for food to eat. For the Most High gives rest to his loved ones." Okay, and it's going to be useless for you people, okay, to think that you're going to prep, think that you want to plan, and think that you got it figured out. Like you got every scenario planned out, plotted out in your mind, and you got a response to everything, man. It's going to be useless, man. Okay, a lot of you people are going to find out quick, all right, that all those things are going to be useless, man. Okay? Let's go here to Psalms 124:1. It says, "If it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say." So if it wasn't for the Lord, we'd be done. Okay? What the Lord is finna get ready to bring to the earth, man. Okay? The way that, because he's gonna unleash Esau on niggas, man, on the nigga woman. Okay, he's gonna unleash Esau on the nigga and the nigga woman, man, and your children. Okay, the Lord finna do this, but if the Lord is on our side, man, we're preserved. You see, it's the Most High that's sending the hit. You see, you worried about the sword, but you need to be worried about the one that's finna swing the sword, man. And that's who, through this grace period, man, that's who we want to be pleasing to. The one that's getting ready to swing the sword, man. Esau was just a tool. He just a sword in this thing, man. It's time to get, hey, in this grace period for us to be pleasing to the one that's going to swing the sword, man. All right, so if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled, okay, against us. You see that? When their wrath was kindled against us, man. You see, and we know this devil, his wrath is kindled against the tribes, man. Because this nigga finna lose everything, man. Okay, and the people that he hates the most has the truth, man. Our power is dealing with us again, man. He know who we are, and he know we got the birthright, man. So this nigga finna lose it. See, that's another thing. These people that's not in the know, you don't understand that this thing goes back to a birthright. See, our people don't understand the target that's on them, man. Okay? And one thing about us awakening, hey, we woke up and we was put directly into a spiritual war. A brawl for it all. You see? So we will wake up till we are. We understand what's at stake. Okay, and that's why we know that this man is finna go all out, man. The Lord is gonna use, all right, that narrative of this nigga losing everything, man. Okay, and this nigga gonna go into a madman. And if you're not protected by the Lord, okay, then ain't no getting out this, man. Okay, it says the waters had overwhelmed us. The stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul, which is Esau, man, the proud waters. And he's going to come with overwhelming force, man. Okay, and this man going to be experimenting with new weaponry, with this AI. He going to be, hey, same thing that he does in Gaza and all these other places, man. He experiment with this AI and this new weaponry, man. He's going to bring that to the streets of America, man. Okay, and the Lord going to have this man hyped up. All right, the Lord gonna have Esau souped up. Okay, when he comes with great wrath, man. Okay, it's the Lord that has sharpened the sword. We know it's Esau. Okay, so as Kiri said, blessed be the Lord who have not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we are escaped, and the fowlers is Esau. Okay, and the snare is this system, man. And it says we're gonna be like a bird that escaped. You know, how do birds escape? Well, they fly away. You see, you're gonna have a remnant that's gonna go in those chariots, man, as America's being nuked and Yahweh Shai getting busy with these heathens, man. Okay? You see, we got an expectation that's way above some goddamn prep, man. Okay? It's goddamn a solar oven, you know, like I say, it's cool, you got it. You know, brothers look into those things. Brothers got things to experiment with and, you know, play around with, man. But at the end of the day, man, we know the only way, all right, to prepare is to be back in tune with our power, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, man. That's the only true preparation. Okay? It says, our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name. You see, our help is in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, who made heaven and earth, man. You see, our help is in the authority of our power, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. You know, we serve a mighty power. You know, so we don't have to try to figure out step by step and just by what to do. No, just be pleasing to our power. You know, all we have to do is be pleasing to our power, man. And that the scriptures say, what's that? Psalms 46. Okay, Psalms 46. And Psalms 46 and 1, it says, the Most High is our refuge and strength. Okay, a very present help in trouble. Okay, and this the only refuge in this time is the Most High. Okay, we need a power that's higher than our enemy. Okay, our people think that they're going to save themselves within the system of their enemy. Okay, not understanding what this devil plans on bringing a digital, okay, dictatorship to the earth, man. Okay, and he has a depopulation agenda. It goes higher than just high food prices and high gas, man. It goes way beyond that. You see, and people don't understand the time that we're coming into. Okay, but we're comforted by these scriptures because every time the Lord tells us about these times, He comforts us with His power, man, with His word. The same word that informs us is the same word that's comforting us, man. You see. So the same word that informs us of the times we're coming into is the same word that comforts us as well. So you go to Daniel 12:1, it says, and at that time Michael shall stand up, that great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. Okay? And it's letting us know that we're going to have help from the heavens, man. Michael, which is an archangel, all right, just a representative, okay, of the spiritual realm. You know, an extension of the Lord's power. Okay? He's one of those archangels that's going to be with Yahweh Shai when He returns. You know, so this is a representation that we're going to have divine help, okay, from our power. You see, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that be found written in the book. And those found written in the book are the elect of Israel, predestined before the world was. So just as we, in the same precept where it talks about time of trouble, the worst time ever, all right, in that same precept, it tells us, okay, that we're going to be delivered. But it's only those written in the book, a remnant. Okay, and the remnant will be doing what we're doing. Lord, we just have to endure. That's why Yahweh Shai said, hold fast to that which thou hast, man. We on the road to salvation. Thing is, just stay on it. Hold fast, even in the worst, you know, circumstances, man, because we're gonna go through some things. We're gonna be tried. It's gonna get uncomfortable. Okay, but we gotta have a vision beyond all this shit, man. Okay, we gotta have a vision beyond this, man. Okay, we gotta hold on, all right, to the faith of a victory, man. A faith of our power coming to conquer in righteousness, man. You know, we're gonna be changed, man. See, this is the grace period was the time to be built up in these things, man. Okay, but a lot of our people finna be taken, man, because they don't even know who they are, what to believe, who the enemy is. Nigga just out here buying noodles, man. Okay, and rice and beans, don't know what's going on. Okay, this is what. Oh boy, hey, let's go here because I say every time the Lord tells us about these times, all right, he mentions deliverance as well. Okay, this is Jeremiah 30 and 6. It said, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hand on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness," because that's how bad it's going to be, man. Women are going, men are going to be curled up like women. Okay, it's going to be a lot of groaning and anguish, starvation. Okay, terror, horror. Okay, it's going to be a horror house here in America, man. You see, it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Going back to those ones written in the book of life, the elect, that's the he. The men, women, and children that's allotted for salvation. Okay? And you go from there. So you see how the Lord always mentioned the times we're coming into, but then, all right, in the same precept or precept after he mentions the deliverance or that divine protection from these times, man. And that's where our faith is at, man. That's what our expectation is at, man. You go here to let's get this real quick. All right, Second Ezra. There's a book of Second Ezra, chapter let's see. Yep, 16. Jump on down. Try to get straight to the point. All right, this is I started 71, Second Ezra 16 and 71. It says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none." This is Esau, man. Okay? And you have to remember, this man is pissed. And this man finna be experimenting. He's finna try a lot of new weaponry, a lot of, new AI, the Palantir. He finna bring out everything, man. Okay? But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And as Apostle Hall went into, man, this is speaking of Israel as a whole. All right? Because we as a people, all right, we were made to have a reverence, all right, for our power. Okay? We was made as a people to have a reverence for our power. Now, most of our people are through. They're enchanted by Esau and rebellious. Okay? But ultimately, the people that was made to fear the Lord were Israelites, man. Okay? And we were supposed to put the fear of the Lord on these other nations. You see? It said, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." Yeah, so you can stock up, man. One day, man, people come in. Okay? Different agents, Esau sent a drone through, man. Come on, we're vulnerable, man. Without our power, we're vulnerable, man. Okay? So the Lord, this that flood, the script say, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, he would have overwhelmed us, man. This is that devil coming in like a flood. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. Yeah, because in the midst of that, there's going to be a remnant that's going to be protected. There's going to be a standard lifted. Okay? There's going to be a standard lifted. You see, it's gonna be a few believers taken, man. Hey, but for the most part, hey, it's gonna be hey, Esau gonna kick some doors and ain't gonna go like he think. And some doors Esau gonna kick and it ain't gonna go like he think. Okay? You figure it out. All right? The Lord gonna show who his chosen is, man. In every predicament, whether it's giving particular men power, or even giving us a spirit to go through with the death. Hey, guess what? They still gonna know. Okay, he died based on what he believed. He chose. Someone died for Yahushua, lose everything for Yahushua and die their own life. He chose it. Okay, they chosen, man. And it says, "And they shall be tried as the gold and fire. Here, O ye my beloved, said the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." You see that? Every time the Lord, comforts us with deliverance when he tells us about the time of trouble, man. And that's intentional, because he's informing us like, look, this is what it's going to be. Okay? But fear not. Don't be troubled. I'm going to deliver you from the same. Oh, ye my beloved. Okay? It says, be you not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. Okay? So we're going to be guided through these things, man. We're not going to be out here naked. Okay? Going through these times, man. The Lord had us out here on the front line teaching, then just have us out here, all right, destitute. Okay, when we need him the most, man. Nah, man, the Lord's going to intervene, man. Even if it's the spirit to take to death, man, that's still the Lord, all right, supplying us with what we need in the moment. So let's play a few minutes of this, man. This is the thing now. A lot of people like to run to the internet when they see something trending. Okay, a lot of these people don't know a goddamn thing about prayer. Okay, but just because someone gets a lot of views by talking about a certain subject, a lot of people come, do it as well. Okay, but you Americans are so goddamn vulnerable. You unskillful when it comes to anything outside of operating on, all right, this on the grid. Okay, so let's play this. All right, people say these things. They're this the end all be all. Like this the gospel. Like this, that they got to figure it out. Like if you do this, you good. Listen to me and you good. And this is also going to people, everybody trying to act like they anointed, like they're chosen to give this survival information on what to do in these times, man. Okay, let's play this.
If this is like pandemic round 2.0, we know what to do. And that is, don't buy all the toilet paper, okay? It's not necessary, okay? Just don't do it.
So my family think I'm crazy, and that's fine. I'm okay with that because I started officially today prepping for what may lie ahead. So we had like 11, mind you, 11 empty gallons and empty big Hawaiian punch jugs. I washed them all out real good and filled them with water. Took them outside and stuck them in the shed. Because, yeah, I'm getting nervous. I am. And I'm headed to the store right now. I feel like I can spend about like $100 worth of non-perishables and they not really notice to really think I'm crazy. But yeah, I'm about to go get some rice, some beans, some peanut butter, some matches, some candles. Yeah, can openers, and a bunch of canned goods. I don't care. I am.
People have begun stockpiling, not only for the recession, but we don't even know what's going on with this hantavirus that's going on. So people right now are stockpiling on toilet paper, bottled water. We're seeing people buy a lot of Clorox or disinfectant wipes. We don't really know what's going to happen. And people they're getting ready to prepare. They don't know if we're going to get into another Great Depression. But right now, what we do know is there is a ton of uncertainty, especially in the economy and across the globe, that people are just trying to prepare as best as they can. And some of the things that people are stockpiling on, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be bottled water. And you also want food. You want some canned food that doesn't expire in a while. So that's going to include things like canned beans, soups, rice is a good one. But you want to have your emergency kit as well, which is going to include some medical supplies, maybe some Band-Aids, maybe some Tylenol, and make sure you have some supplements as well included in there. And because it's always best to be prepared than to be sorry. And that's what we're seeing people in this video do. Let me know in the comments below how you're stockpiling and take a look at the rest of these clips.
I'm pretty sure that my family thinks I'm crazy, but I've been stocking up on more food. And I even bought 2, to start off with, food grade 5-gallon buckets to get more rice and beans in bulk because I don't want weevils. I don't want other pests. I'm fine with them thinking I'm crazy because you know what? They can think I'm crazy and be thankful for it someday. And if not, they can think I'm crazy and we'll still have food. You know what I mean? I don't care.
The cost of your average everyday food is going up. It hit the news this morning. It probably already hit the news, but we just now seeing it. But this goes back to me talking about stockpiling and prepping at your local Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, grocery outlet, bargain stores, wherever it's cheaper for you to buy, whatever, man. I'm talking just stock up and put it away for yourself and your kids. I feel bad for moms that got to sacrifice their meals because, for one, we got to commend them, the kids are eating. But number two, it's like, the moms gotta take care of themselves too, bro. This is all over the news right now. But y'all want to take everything for a game that's not that serious. Oh, we hear this every 3 years. Shut up. Shut up. No one's just coming on here trying to tell y'all anything. You understand? This is why y'all need to have Jesus in y'all life, understand discernment and wisdom. If he's passing it down to his people to tell y'all, it's up to y'all to take heed. You don't have to listen, but don't cry suffering.
Why I don't recommend storing beans and rice to first-time preppers. I feel like beans and rice is like the prepper staple of what everyone tells you to store. But when I hear people talk about beans and rice, I just hear people say, store beans and rice, it's cheap. And I've honestly probably said it too. But what we need to talk about when storing dried foods is they take a lot of water. I don't know if you've ever made beans from like dried beans, but you have to soak them and then you have to pour that water out and then you need to boil water and put the beans in and then they have to boil for quite a long time. Beans usually take a while to make. And then rice, you have to boil the water, cook the rice. And in a normal situation, if we're just talking about, I just want to have extra food, no problem. However, if you're trying to prepare for maybe a power outage or just something where maybe you don't have access to your normal stove, then with the beans and rice, you need to store a lot of water to be able to soak everything, to cook everything. And you also need to have some form of, whether it's a camping stove, a grill, basically some way to boil water to be able to cook these things. And that's all very doable. It's just not just beans and rice. You have to store more things to go with it. Does that make sense?
Thank you for taking the time to ask this question. I want to preface this by saying that I'm not here to fearmonger, but I am recognizing patterns and the price of food is going to go up very quickly and sooner than a lot of people expect. So if you have a little bit of extra money right now, or you're going to get paid soon, and you have a little bit of extra spending money, I highly recommend that you go out and you buy these staples. I highly recommend you getting some form of noodles, whether that's elbow, lasagna, fettuccine, or even this variety box. I highly recommend that you get some sort of beans. We have a nice assortment here, and rice. Make sure that all of the items you are getting are non-perishable and that you have containers to put them in, whether that is the small plastic and or glass containers, but Mylar bags are great as well. But they are not required. It is just something me and my family are going to do, in addition to oxygen absorbers and these desiccant packs to keep out water and moisture. And this is what that container does for my rice. Obviously, stock up on water. I believe the minimum that you need for one person is 30 gallons per day. And for canned goods, I really like these Campbell Chunky soups. I have a little bit of an assortment, getting a can or two and stocking up here and there. You do not have to get any fruit, but I get them because my family eats them on a regular basis, and they're going to be a great source of vitamin C if we're going to be holed up inside and away from sunlight for a long time. I also have canned beans. Such as mixed vegetables, corn. We have some more black beans over here and garbanzo beans. And to pair with the pasta, we have some of these Hunt's pasta sauces. I recommend getting things that are either canned or in glass because it takes a long time for the exterior to break down. You personally do not have to do this, but we have chosen to get extra seasoning just in case we are stuck eating the same foods day after day, because just a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder can change the taste dramatically. But also get some peanut butter because it has a great shelf life and it is a great source of protein. If you have any medications, please stock up on those. Otherwise, I recommend getting some sort of painkillers, things for your children in case they get a fever or cold, as well as for yourself. And don't forget about your oral health. It is important to have an extra toothbrush for everybody in your household, as well as some floss and toothpaste. If you have small children, make sure you prepare for that as well. And if you are a woman or you have women in your house, do not forget the feminine care product. So this is how everything is currently set up versus a few weeks ago. You can go check out that video. But those are just the essentials that I would get starting out for my family, and then work my way up and get more things that are kind of like frivolous or things that I may personally just want and don't.
But yeah, Shalak your mind, and I had it muted. But yeah, basically I was saying, all right, you got all these people, you have about 8 minutes, okay, of that video, and everybody, is an expert. Everyone's an expert on prepping now. And no one mentioned the Lord except this one, all right, simple nigga. He mentioned Jesus, okay, with Jesus finna disappoint a lot of people. Okay, you're not going to be fed, all right, through no goddamn Jesus. You're not going to get through these times through Jesus, man. Okay, Jesus finna be the biggest disappointment the earth has ever seen. Okay, but here it is. All right, you got all these people, then you got Eve. Eve loves to be an expert, get on TV like she's an expert and she got it figured out. Okay, and then you had this little chick, okay, just giving a tour, okay, of her, then she's showing everything. Here it is, you showing your face, you showing everything you got to have a stack. That's not wise. Okay, and then the other little chick, someone asked, can you show me more about stockpile and how you got it? And she, sure, I can show you. Okay, simple as hell. You don't know who that is asking you that, man. Okay, asking to see your stockpile. You don't know that goddamn person, man, on the internet. Okay, so yeah, man, you got people in this mindset that they gonna stock and they good. And you can tell they got this little pride about themselves, like they got it figured out. And now let me tell y'all what to do next. Like they straight. People don't understand the times that we coming into, man. You're not preparing for a power added to the hurricane. Okay? You're not preparing for that thunderstorm and the lights go out, man. This is the judgment of the Lord. The Heavenly Father is from the judge in the earth. Okay? Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is getting ready to judge in the planet Earth, man. Okay? The wrath of the Lord is going to be in the earth, man. Okay? Do you understand? You see? But it's just cute to be on the internet, and it's just something that trended. Okay? But let's go to the scriptures, man, because when you go into the scriptures, this is 2nd Ezra 16:21 said, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they should think themselves to be in good case. So it's a lot of people, that they're able, to buy, they're still able to buy food, and things are relatively cheap in, certain places, food prices going up. But you got people think just because they can afford to, stockpile a little here and there, they should think themselves in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth. And see, they're not aware of all the evils that's coming up on the earth. Then America gonna get nuked. Okay? America's gonna get nuked. You in America talking about stockpiling, and America gonna be nuked. You're in the place that's gonna be nuked, man. Okay? And it says, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, man. Sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay? This is the time we in with sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay? You people are going to be confused because there's going to be so much going on that your mind ain't even going to be able to function right. And who said that you just going to get to chill in the house, man? People act like they just going to be chilling in the house, putting together recipes, cooking spaghetti, changing diapers. Okay? No, man, it ain't finna be that. Okay, it said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Okay, it's going to get extremely violent, man. Okay, you think that it's people that's not eating, but you're gonna get to go outside and grill. Okay, you're gonna get to go outside and put your little oven on, your solar oven on, and cook, and rock the baby in one arm, and you know cook you some noodles and spaghetti, seasoning, garlic powder. No, man, that's not finna go like that. Okay, it's finna get real grimy out here, man. Society finna get real grimy, man. Okay, lights out, man. You don't a prolonged power outage, man. Okay, you know it says jumping down. It jumped down to verse 37. It said, "Behold, the plagues draw not and are not slept. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth a son with 2 or 3 hours of her great birth pains, compares her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth. They slept not a moment." Okay, they slept not a moment. You see, so we coming to the time when there ain't gonna be no slack in this thing, man. It's gonna be back to back to back crisis, man. Back to back bad news, major events. This happening, that happening. Okay, you can't plan. You no no one but the Lord knows everything that He's been getting ready to unleash in the earth, man. He gave us enough to be informed that we coming into the worst time ever, man. Okay, but think that you can plan for every event and have it figured out and prep. Nah, man. Okay, it says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon you on every side." Man, the Lord is finna unleash His wrath in the earth, man. Okay, and people got this mindset like this just gonna be some casual event that we coming into. Okay, that they, this is Gatorade, they gonna have just a bunch of Gatorade and water. Okay, and they gonna, you see, it says, here, it says, "Oh, my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle." And the battle is going to be to keep the faith in these times. And in those evils, even be as pilgrims upon the earth, man, because some of us going to be on the move. Okay? Yeah, in that time, man, a lot of us going to be homeless, man. Okay, so he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupy merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Yeah, because we're gonna have to leave everything, man. We're gonna have businesses, jobs, suits, brothers, Some brothers got certain titles and positions, and we're gonna have to lead these things, man. Certain projects and ventures, we can have going on, and we're gonna have to leave off from those things, man. We gotta get ready to leave this world behind, okay? Because we know salvation is coming. You see, we're pilgrims, man. We're passing through, man. We're getting ready to go home, okay? But you trying to stockpile like you're gonna ride this thing out, the sun gonna come out, and you're gonna go back to your whack ass life. Nah, man, it's over with. Okay? It said, "They that marry as they that shall not get children, and they that marry not as the widows, and therefore they that labor in vain." Okay? Labor in vain. And all these people laboring, all right, probably working overtime and trying to afford more food and more, stocking and this and that. And, okay, it's all in vain. It's the judgment of the Lord on the way. Because like I said, no one in that video talked about the Lord. Everybody talked about what they got and what you should do, and this what I do. See, I got my, I turn my beans upside down for 48 hours, and then I turn them sideways, and then they make this, and shut up, nigga. Okay? Everybody's just talking about what they got, what they're laboring and what they're doing, but it's all in vain. Okay, said, "For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children," man. And it's gonna get bad, man. It's gonna be bad out here, man. If the Lord ain't with you, man, it's gonna be bad. Okay, it's gonna be beyond bad, man. Okay, it's gonna be beyond anything that you can imagine. The times we coming into, man. Okay, it says, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more I will be angry with them for their sins, said the Lord. Because here it is, none of them are talking about repenting, talking about the Israelites. You know, mainly the nigga one. We had one simple nigga in there. Okay, one simple nigga talking about prepping. You see, but no one's talking about repenting. No one talking about the Lord, man. No, the Lord is pissed because of pride, sin, rebellion. Okay, and you talking about some goddamn Gatorade and a garlic powder, man. You see? Nah, man, the Lord finna get ready to open up in the earth, man. You see, and none of that's gonna mean anything in the time of judgment, man. Okay, let's go here. Let's get this. Let's go back to let's go to Proverbs 11 or Proverbs 10. We go both 10 then 11. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 2. It says, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivered from death. So you go into this word treasures of wickedness. All right, you go to the word treasures. All right, because see, you people ain't right. Okay? You see, in the eyes of the Lord, you people are wicked, man. All right, so you go in that word in Hebrew. Okay? All right, it's Atazar. All right, Atazar, which goes into treasure or storehouse, gold, silver. You know, niggas think they gonna get got gold. You know, niggas get 1.2 ounces of gold and he, okay, he a Rockefeller now. You see, then look 3 pieces of silver. They ain't gonna do a goddamn thing, man. Okay, it says store supplies of food or drink. All right, treasure house, treasury. You see that? Supplies of food or drink. Okay, so if you're not in the right relationship with the Most High, none of those things matter, man. Okay, treasury, magazine, and weapons. Everybody think they're gonna be Rambo and John Wick. You know, in this time, man. None of those things are gonna matter. Okay, when the time for judgment, man. Okay, because if you're set for judgment, none of that's gonna matter. Okay. So let's go back. It says the Lord, verse 4, will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish. And see, we can bank on that. That's what I said. We can go sleep on that. The Lord promised we weren't gonna starve, man. Okay. Now we're gonna lose things. Okay. The Lord let us know, hey, you lose things, you can even lose your life. All right, but the Lord ain't gonna starve us out, man. Okay, that's a promise. If we'll be elect, the Lord promised He won't starve us, man. Okay, like I said, we can rest on that. We can sleep on that, man. But He casteth away the substance of the wicked, man. Okay, and it's beginning with Esau, the elite, on down to you people that's enchanted by this nigga, man. You know, you operate like this nigga, man. Okay, that's a very proud move. Okay, to think that you're gonna sidestep judgment. Okay, that you're gonna sidestep judgment. You see, by prepping, man. Let's go here. It says, riches. Okay, riches profit nothing. Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit nothing in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. Okay, and that righteousness is us following Yahushua, man, because our righteousness is of Him. You know, but as we believe and we follow our power in these days, we understand our righteousness is of our power. Okay, beginning with His Son Yahushua. You know, as we begin to imitate Yahushua in truth and sincerity and faith. Okay, Lord will is accounted to us for righteousness, man, and we're delivered from these times. Okay, but I just wanted to get into that. You know, Lord will. All right, you brothers. All right, and you few sisters edified. So next time I say Shalom, call me Ashahala, a Bible ball soon. Shalom.